What works?
For a business like Unitywater, we are a commercial business, 24/7 commercial business. We need to make sure that when we make decisions, we're making decisions based on data. It actually started because we were introducing a new asset management system, and it was different. The asset management system that we use at Unitywater, they do have to actually put data in terms of how long it takes them to actually do a job, how they did the job, and then if they've got any issues, if they need to call anybody in, then they have to actually put text in also. Trying to communicate to them the reasons why we were changing and using technology, that communication was key, and that was really important that we got the right messages across. Because it's an ageing workforce, there's a lot of fear around technology because it was different. These guys are used to taking their tools, their hand tools and their power tools and actually doing the work. And this was a new process for them. It was very different and it was challenging for them. So we needed to make sure that when we developed a program that we got buy-in from them to show them the way that it will help them do their job in the end. When we rolled out the actual system, we created a new program called EASE, and the EASE stands for Everybody Has the Ability and Skills to Excel. Well, we engaged a specialist in language literacy and numeracy, and he actually worked closely with myself and also and the learning and development team, and he also worked very closely with our field crews. What we did was, at every single training program, we said, We've got this EASE program that will help you. If you need some support in using the computers, if you're struggling with your computer literacy, you can volunteer for this program. Put your hand up, come and see us at the end and we will help you. What we did then was we actually had 55 of our field crews. We had 350. We had 55 field crews put up their hand to say, we need some help. And that was a really big thing because there's a lot of pride out there in field crews. They're with blokey blokes. We used the Australian Core Skills Framework to determine the level of language literacy and numeracy for the 55 staff that came on our EASE program. We needed a baseline to establish where they were at so that we could develop a training plan specifically for them. We knew that out of the 55 staff who came on the program, they weren't all going to be the same. So it was important that we had an assessment tool that was accurate and that would actually help us design the training. We had 3 levels of training. We had classroom-based training, computer-based training in a classroom. We then had one-on-one training if they needed support, and then they had the EASE program with our language literacy and numeracy trainer if they were one of the 55 staff who put up their hand for some additional support. Plus we had the learning and development team advisors assisting wherever we could too. So we made sure that we were out at all of the depots. For that first 3 months, we were there when they first started the morning and when they were there in the afternoon when they came back. So if they had any questions, we were there to support them. We designed the training program around scenarios. It's really important that when the crews were coming into the computer-based training, that they could access a computer that had a job exactly like they do out in the field. So if they had a priority 1 job, burst water main, and they had to do a risk assessment, the computer-based training showed them exactly how to do it right from the beginning to the end of the process. We also made sure that we individualised the training programs. When we designed it based around language literacy and numeracy, making sure we had symbols and making sure that it was just really easy to use. Click here, right here. Yeah, it was great. The system in which that they were working, there were very minimal words on it. We used a lot of symbols, and that's one of the reasons why it has been so successful, because rather than saying the word map, there was a symbol for maps. One of the things that the program did was we were delivering the training in work time. So the supervisors and our leaders needed to make sure that our field guys were taking time off the job. And that in itself was a really big step for them, because they could have been out in the field working on our assets and doing our priority 1 jobs. But the leaders said, this is really important and you need to go to this training. So they made sure that they attended. there were two facets to the training that made it so successful. The first part was the technical side, or the digital side of things, the computer systems, but also we needed to change the way in which they did their work. So the end-to-end process was different also. So we needed to make sure that we incorporated all of our processes into the system and into the systems training, and that was the key. So if we hadn't have been rolling out a new asset management system, it wouldn't have been successful. I think it's important when you're doing a literacy program, whether it's digital or not, you need to have a project where you can get some traction, and that's really important.